All right, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. So in a lot of my other videos where I'm doing the soap test or reviewing foam cannons, a lot of people mentioned in the comments they wanted to see exactly what my wash process is, how long to let the product dwell on the paint, all that kind of good stuff. So I have a little surprise right behind me. It's blown out for you right now. Maybe you guys can tell from the front end right there, that front grille is pretty iconic. But this is a beautiful Aston Martin Vanquish. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull you guys off the tripod real quick, give you a little walk around, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw on a GoPro and do my wash process and just let you guys see it. So here we go. Okay guys, so there you go. The car's filthy, as you can see. Now, just as a side note, I didn't have all the normal products that I use because I was running low on time. And I can't do his car at his location. So I had to bring it back to the shop. So some of the tools that I normally use in my everyday business were still in my truck, but I do have tools in the shop as well. So I'll link everything down below and I'll let you know which ones I actually prefer over the rest, but I'll link those down below as well. So here we go guys, we're gonna go ahead and get into step number one, and step number one is prep. So it's very important to prep so that you are ready to roll and you're not looking around for things as you're working. So prep, I will unroll, get my pressure washer all set up, I'll fill my bucket, I'll load in my microfiber towels. Now in this situation and most situations, I don't typically use a wash mitt. I do, but in this situation especially, I'm gonna be showing you guys my preferred method, which is instead of using a wash mitt and multiple buckets to reduce any contamination, the 2-bucket method traditionally, I do use 1 bucket and I use multiple microfiber towels inside of that bucket. Now, the reason I do that is as I'm washing, I can use it. Once that towel starts to get a little contaminated, I toss it to the side, go to a brand new one. I'm not introducing any contamination into that bucket. Everything stays nice and clean and stays nice and perfect. So I'll also take this time to gather my brushes, wheel brushes, body brushes, all that kind of good stuff for the wash. Okay, now step number 2 is going to be a initial rinse. So just to get all the loose, kind of larger dirt and debris off of the paintwork, I just go over and do a complete rinse of the whole vehicle, including the wheels, getting everything kind of saturated, all the heavier stuff that was loose off the vehicle, so I can really get in and focus on the stuff that doesn't want to come off. Okay, so for step number 3, I move straight into the wheels. So for the wheels on this particular car, I'm only using the soap from my foam cannon. The reason I'm doing that is because there's sort of a satin finish wheel that's it's basically black or dark gray. It's kind of hard to tell when they're dirty especially, but and because they're that satin finish, I don't want to use any aggressive chemical that may cause any sort of staining or anything like that on the wheel. So I'm just using the soap, I spray it onto the wheel, let it dwell for, I don't know, 10 seconds maybe, and then I go in with my brushes and agitate everything to get it all loosened up, including inside of the barrel of the wheel, and makes everything look perfect. So in this situation, guys, here's one of the things I was talking about. I am using a microfiber specialty wheel brush here. This one's okay, but it's not really as stable as I'd like it, and it's a little bit thick, so it's kind of hard to get behind the caliper and all that kind of stuff. The one that I recommend that's actually in my truck currently, and that's why I'm not using it, is the Woolly Wormit. It's really, really thin, all microfiber, no hard edges. You don't have to worry about scratching anything. And it is flexible, so you can fit it into spots, but it's also very strong, so you don't have to worry about it flexing when you don't want it to flex. Now guys, after I do all my full agitation, I'll go ahead and rinse the wheel off and move on to the next wheel. Work that full process around all 4 wheels, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay guys, so like I said, in this situation I am just using the foam to clean up the wheels. Now, in our normal circumstances, on a normal alloy wheel, chrome wheel, whatever it is, I will use a dedicated wheel cleaner. Now, there's two that I really like. I do like P&S's Brake Buster. Does a great job, and I also like Malco Fast Shot. Now, Fast Shot, I would say, does work a little bit better, but I'll tell you right now, guys, it smells terrible. So, typically with the Malco, I can spray it on, let it dwell for 20 seconds, and then rinse it off, and it's good to go. With the P&S Brake Buster, there are situations if the wheel's not that bad where I can just spray it on, let it dwell, and then rinse it off, and I'm good to go. Otherwise, I do have to go in with my brushes and agitate it really quickly, but either way, both of them work fantastic. P&S Brake Buster does smell much, much better. I wouldn't say it smells good, but the Malco smells bad. So P&S Brake Buster is a good balance between the two of them. Okay guys, step number 4 is going to be my foam cannon application. So I'm going to apply the foam to the vehicle. I start at the top of the vehicle using gravity, start at the roof, move on down. And I will let the product sit on the paint for typically between 30 seconds to 1 minute. Depending if it's something where I'm in a mobile situation and I'm in direct sunlight and it's kind of a hot day, it'll be on the lower side. But usually 30 seconds to a minute, let the product dwell on there. And then we move into step number 5, which is our contact wash. Now again, guys, I'm using multiple microfiber towels in a bucket, so I'm not introducing any contamination back into that bucket. Starting at the top of the vehicle, just working the whole panel all the way down. As the towel gets contaminated, I toss it to the side, move on to the new towel, and continually work my way around the vehicle, getting all the dirt off. And I'm not scrubbing here, guys. I'm just using a light touch, letting the chemical letting the soap do its job, breaking down everything, and then this is just helping to remove anything that's still stuck on there a little bit. The Adams Megafoam does provide good lubrication and does a great job of breaking down all that dirt. Now, after that, guys, I will go through and fine tune I have a specialty body brush, really, really soft brush that I use on like the grill, the little side vents of the vehicle, around the mirrors, things like that where dirt can get stuck inside and it's a little bit tighter of a place for me to reach. I'll use my brush, agitate all that stuff so it's all ready to go when we rinse it off. All right, guys, so step number 6 is we're just gonna rinse the vehicle off now. Starting again from the top and using gravity, we're gonna start at the top, let the water drip down. We're pushing, I'm basically using my pressure washer like a broom, like a push broom. I'm using the water to push off all that soap, all the contamination off the paint, and getting everything nice and perfect. Because I'm starting on the roof, it drips down to the rest of the vehicle, already kind of pre-washing it for me, and then I continually go around the vehicle, pushing everything away until it's all clean and perfect. All right, guys, so now that the car is all rinsed off and perfect, we need to dry it. Now, in order to do that without running the risk of any scratching or anything like that, I do prefer to start off with a leaf blower, and I'll go around the whole vehicle. I'll get the majority, all that bulk of water off of the panels. And then I'm not worried about getting all of it off. I actually like having a little bit on there still, moving on to the next step. But I'll get the bulk of it off, and then I will go around to the tight spots, the spots where you continually get drips. Stuff like the mirrors, vents on the side, on the quarter panels, all that stuff that the car can look perfect and then the customer can drive down the road for a mile, get out, and then there's drips. I do not want that for the customer. I want to deliver a perfect product to them. So I'll make sure to go around all those tight spots, completely blow out the water from those spots so that they don't get any dripping down the road. Once that's all done, guys, then I will take a microfiber towel and I will load it up with a SiO2 based quick detailer. And basically what I'll do is I'll spray it onto my microfiber towel, and I'll go ahead and use that to mop up the rest of the water and get a nice, perfect, streak-free finish to the paintwork. Basically, the product that I prefer to use is ceramic detail spray from a company called Technician's Choice. That'll only be linked down below in the description. What this does, guys, I'm spraying it onto my microfiber towel. I'll kind of point it at the panel that I'm working on so any residual gets over onto the panel. The reason I like doing that is the SiO2 gives protection. It's extremely slick, so it creates lubrication. As I'm drying that panel down, I don't have to worry about it creating any friction because it's so slick. So again, we're reducing any chance of scratches, marring of the paint, any of that stuff. also while providing some protection. This product is fantastic. It smells good. It does a fantastic job. It flashes out so you don't have to go back over and buff it out. It does a really good job of just leaving a perfect finish. Now that the car is all spot free and perfect, we move on to the windows. Step number 8 is windows. And guys, pay attention here. I use some very specific products for my windows to get that perfect streak-free finish. Those products, I use 2 different things. I use a stack of perfectly dry microfiber towels. And this other item that I use, guys, this is the most important one, I'll link it down below, is just water. Super simple, just water. I don't use any special products. You want to be careful, actually. A lot of products for windows will have some ammonia in it. And when you're using something with ammonia on tint, it can potentially damage the tint, so you always want to be careful. So in my situation, guys, just using water, I've found that it gets me the best result possible. And here's the process. So I start off, I'll take a microfiber towel, I load it up with water, nice and wet. I'll wipe down the whole section that I'm going to be working on. Now I don't, especially if it's hot out, I don't try and do the whole windshield. I'll start with half of it and work my way around that way. But so basically I wipe on the wet towel, picking up anything that needs to be taken off so that we get a perfect finish. Once that's done, I'll take a dry microfiber towel, buff off all the water, do that first initial wipe, removing the bulk of the water. Then I'll flip the towel over to a new dry side, and I will reduce the pressure that I'm applying onto the panel. Just a really light buff, and just let that flash out, and it turns out absolutely perfect. So that is the way I do my windows, guys. I'm gonna work my way all the way around the car and getting everything looking perfect. And that's it, guys. Really simple for windows. I think you can complicate windows trying to get the best result possible. You don't have to. It's seriously water, microfiber towels. That's how I've done it for years. It gets fantastic results. All right, guys, so final step here. The car is all done. Final thing I do is I go back to my ceramic detail spray and a clean microfiber towel. I load it up. Don't load it up, actually. You don't want it wet. You want it just a couple spritz on there. And I'll do a final wipe down of the whole vehicle, making sure that everything is perfect. I'll go through all the little vents, all that kind of stuff, make sure everything looks good, open up the doors, wipe out the door jambs, make sure it's all perfect, and that is it. So that's it, guys. Here's the final result of the vehicle. You saw the before, here's the after. As you can see, it looks fantastic. The paintwork came out beautifully on this Aston Martin Vanquish. So that's it, guys. I really hope that helps you. I know I've gotten a lot of questions about that, what my wash process is. Again, this is my wash process. This is a maintenance wash just to keep the vehicle looking its best. Now, if the car was ceramic coated, the Adams Megafoam is pH neutral, so it doesn't do any harm to it. But there are some products that have SiO2 in the soap themselves, and I like to use those on ceramic coated vehicles because they're pH neutral, and they also add a little bit of a boost to the coating. And then I still use the SiO2 spray over on the top of that, so it's overkill, but I like to give overkill. I want to under promise, over deliver to my customer, and that's the way I do it. So I'm going to be doing a review on some SiO2 based, ceramic based soaps coming up. So make sure you guys are subscribed and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of those ones coming up. Please make sure to like the video. Again, guys, I hope this helps you, and we'll see you on the next one.